Yes, indeed. What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing. Hold on one sec, y'all. Yes, indeed. B Marsh Boxing, man. Undisputed fight, man. 140-pound junior welterweight titles, all titles on the line. Jose Ramirez bringing his undefeated record into the ring versus Josh Taylor. Now, Josh Taylor is obviously the foreign fighter coming to USA, to Las Vegas, to fight in the man's home country, Jose Ramirez. And the first round I gave it to Josh Taylor was a pretty close round. I thought Josh Taylor was sticking from the outside, you know what I mean? Using his jab, and landing some left shots in there, going down to the body, reaching, keeping the man at bay with his reach. And I thought he won the first round off of ring generalship. But round two was where Jose Ramirez put his foot on the metal, put his foot on the gas and was going in, digging in with the body shots. Being the right-handed fighter, was finding a lot of looping right-hand shots and straight right-hand shots, left-hand combinations, all kind of punch combinations for the man Jose Ramirez through rounds 2, rounds 3, rounds 4, and 5. I gave him all four of those rounds to the man Jose Ramirez. I thought his punch output and he putting his punches together. The combination punching was beautiful from the man Jose Ramirez in rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was actually looked like he was about to have the man Josh Taylor on the verge of quitting, because he was getting caught with some hooks to the body, and he was kind of doubling over. Sometimes he'd leave his left hand open, his right hand, you know what I'm saying, after throwing a jab, and he'd get countered with the left hook to the head. And Jose Ramirez was feeding a lot also off the crowd, you know what I mean? The predominantly Hispanic crowd, the Mexican Americans and the Mexicans in general were there in full support of the man Jose Ramirez, and he was riding the wave high because he was performing pretty well. Then round 6 started. As soon as the bell started, you know what I mean, the man Jose Ramirez gets dropped by Josh Taylor, you know what I'm saying, by a beautiful pull counter straight left hand, you know what I'm saying? The man Jose Ramirez was kind of backing up, and he throws a left hook and he misses, and the man Josh Taylor makes him miss, and he catches him with a beautiful pull counter left hand. Boom, puts his man on, not on his ass, he kind of fell forward going on his stomach, you know what I mean? And 10-6, round 6 already is a 10-8 round, you know what I'm saying? Round 7. Good back and forth fight, You could tell the man Jose Ramirez doesn't quite have his legs under him. Not that he's on wobbly legs, but he's not as aggressive coming forward, throwing punches, letting his hands go. Maybe he's afraid of the counter shot that will come right back, and he even gets dropped. They were in a clinch. Josh Taylor and the man Jose Ramirez were in a clinch in round 7, and the referee's about to separate them, or he taps one of them. Jose Ramirez, got to protect yourself at all times. While he was pulling out with his chin all up in the sky, he gets clocked with a left uppercut. Boom. Put Slim right on his ass, on his back and on his ass. He was on his back pockets, you know what I mean? And 10 is a 10-8 round already in round 7, you know what I mean? So 2 back-to-back 10-8 rounds for the man Josh Taylor. And then Josh Taylor is just breaking this man down from round 8, 9, 10, just breaking him down, you know what I'm saying, with you know, all kind of punches, you know what I'm saying? The straight left hand, the left uppercut, right hooks to the body, right hooks to the head. Jose Ramirez is not letting his hands go at all. You know why? Because he's afraid of that counter that's about to come through. He doesn't want to get clipped no more with no counter punches, and it's costing him rounds, you know what I mean? And from rounds 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I gave it to the man Josh Taylor. Round 11 and 12, I gave it to Jose Ramirez. Close rounds. Josh Taylor's still trying to go for the knockout, but Jose Ramirez is, again, feeding off of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Not so much landing punches of consequence, but was the aggressor. And that's why I thought he won the last 2 rounds. You know what I mean? Being just the aggressor, Josh Taylor is landing some punches in there, But obviously the pressure that Jose Ramirez is applying from rounds 11 and 12, that's why I had him winning the championship rounds. But unfortunately for Jose Ramirez, not enough. What's up with you, Mike 104 in the chat? He says Josh Taylor was sharp. Ramirez was getting hit on the break, and he never adjusted. He ended up getting caught worse on the second knockdown. Absolutely. What rep it? What the deal? What rep it? What rep it says? Ben Davison has his fighters uppercut upon ref breakup. Saunders tried the same thing versus Canelo. It's a smart tactic. Absolutely, man. You gotta, protect yourself at all times. And when you're in close quarters like that and man got his hands down, shoot that uppercut. Mike 104 says Ramirez went straight back on the break too often and Taylor didn't miss. Taylor makes sure he's in punch position on each separation or break. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mike 104 says, and by break, I don't mean ref break. I mean when someone pulls back after being on the inside. And that's what Jose Ramirez tried to do, but he had his chin up in the sky and he gets dropped. So I gave Josh Taylor rounds 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I had him winning 6 rounds with 2 10-8 rounds. I had him winning this fight wide, not wide, but comfortably, at least like a 115, 111 type of scorecard. Or, or was it maybe 114, 112? So I gave him rounds 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's 6 rounds. So that's 114. And Jose Ramirez gets dropped twice for 10-8 rounds. So he gets, I gave Ramirez rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, and 12. So I had this fight 114, 112. That's how I had it on my scorecard, you know what I mean? 6 rounds apiece, but the 2 knockdowns are the difference. And congratulations to the new undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world, Josh Taylor. Big ups to him. Very good fighter. Got to put this man in the top 5 pound for pound right about now. The man did a tremendous job on foreign soil. You know what I'm saying? And he was quite comfortable in there. And the knockdown in round 6 changed the momentum of the fight. And Jose Ramirez, I seen this coming, you don't get to duck the man Regis Prograis and think you're going to have many years to live and tell the story about how you fought in an undisputed fight and you were successful. He had that fight versus this Zepeda guy, and he didn't look good in that fight. I had that fight a draw. The fight that really made me think that Josh Taylor has the edge in this fight was the Victor Postol fight. You know what I mean? And Josh Taylor got the skills to pay the bills, man. One of the best Caucasian fighters we got on planet Earth right now. If Tyson Fury is the heavyweight champ, skill for skill, pound for pound, I got to give it up to Josh Taylor. Lomachenko's a good fighter, but Lomachenko ain't knocking fellas out and boxing and getting on the inside too, like the man Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's a very cocky fighter. When he was dropping this guy, Jose Ramirez, he was all up in his grill talking shit, man. Who knows what he told him? You know what I'm saying? He probably told him some vile shit, The man is from Scotland. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, if you know anything about Scotland and their history, and also when it comes to boxing history, go back, check one of my videos I did over here about Howard Davis, you know what I mean? When he went to Scotland in the early 80s to fight the man Jim Watt, and go see what kind of racial abuse that the man received, you know what I mean? And also O'Hara Davis when he went out there to fight the man Josh Taylor. It's not a game, man. And Josh Taylor was on one tonight, you know what I mean? Well, Rapids in the chat, and he says, I think top rank matches Crawford versus Taylor. Crawford will school Taylor. I agree. There ain't nobody who can beat the man Bud Crawford, in my opinion, skill for skill, pound for pound in boxing. You know what I mean? Got the skills to pay the bills, That's why he's amongst a lot of people's pound for pound fighters. But things going to change if he doesn't get these fights and get the recognition like these other fighters are getting, fighting very good competitive fighters. All right? B-Marsh Boxing, big ups to everybody in the chat. We'll rep it, Mike 104. Big ups to the man, Josh Taylor. What do we want to see next from Josh Taylor? I don't know. Is he going to move up to 147? Get a straight title shot at the man Bud Crawford and possibly lose? Will he defend all 4 of his titles at 140 pounds? Yeah, they got some good fighters out there. Igashiv Shonjahon. I'm not sure if I pronounced his first name right, but I know I'd pronounce his last name right. Sean Jahan. Go check this guy out at 140 pounds, a kid out of the Crunk Gym. Fucking with the man Sugar Hill in Detroit, Crunk Gym. This guy's an undefeated fighter at 140 pounds. I'd like to see Josh Taylor. I'd like to see that smoke. I don't know if he's Russian, Uzbekistan, or what. But yeah, he's from the Eastern Bloc, them parts of the world. Yeah, that part. And I'd love to see this Europe on Europe crime versus him versus Josh Taylor. Sean Jahan's a bad MF. There's the Gayasev. There's a lot of fighters, especially from Eastern Bloc, Eastern Europe, at 140 pounds. So hopefully Josh Taylor, I don't know. I'd rather see him defend his titles at 140. But Crawford, you better get yourself, them fellas, one of these welterweights in the ring. You know what I mean? Good welterweights like Sean Porter's and Errol Spence and these kinds. You know what I mean? Luis Cortez says, I think Taylor will vacate and move to 147. I think it's hard to keep or an undisputed set of belts. I agree with you 100% on that. You know, that's that's the word on the curve that he will be going up to 147. Um, but he'll have a lot of mandatories. He'll have 4 mandatories if he keeps them strapped at 140. But at the end of the day, he can carve himself a niche in history as one of the best 140 pound fighters of all time. When I think of the great junior welterweights of all time, we got to talk about Aaron Pryor, Kostya Tszyu, Ricky Hatton, um, Benny Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Um, who else? Antonio Cervantes. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of great fighters at 140 pounds. Did I mention Kostya Tszyu? Zab Judah was a very good fighter at 140 pounds. You know what I mean? Um, but at the end of the day, Josh Taylor could cement himself amongst all those great fighters and rank himself up there if he has many title defenses and is knocking out and stopping and beating all comers at 140 pounds. I'd love to see it, I'd love to see it personally, you know what I mean? But big ups to Josh Taylor. I've been a fan of this guy since, I'm not going to say since I first seen him in the Olympics. That's what I'm not going to do. I ain't going to lie to y'all like that. But I've been a fan of him since I've been watching him in the pro ranks, you know what I mean? And watching him on the Channel 5 out there in the UK when he was with Barry McGuigan as his promoter, you know what I mean? I've been impressed with the guy. I knew he would be the first man to stop, it's not Israel Vasquez. What's the guy's name? Former 135-pound champion with the IBF strap. Miguel Vasquez, you know what I'm saying? I knew he would be the first man to stop him, and he's beating everybody they brought to him. Won that World Boxing Super Series tournament, although I had to fight with him and Prograis a draw. Now imagine if he gives Prograis a shot at all 4 of these titles and he beats the guy. God give it up to him, and hopefully he can move himself up in the ranks. You know what I'm saying? Where we at in the chat? Luis Cortorzo says, I agree, he will move up to face Crawford. Alan Munro says, this guy knows the fight game. Yes, indeed, man. I definitely know the fight game. I love boxing. I love boxing to the point, right? I love my Boston Celtics. We were playing tonight versus the Brooklyn Nets. I don't give a fuck if we was winning or losing. If there's a world title fight on, I'm watching the world title fight. You know what I'm saying? This is a world title fight. Somebody's about to realize their dreams, childhood dreams as far as these boxers. So yes, indeed, man. Boxing's a beautiful sport, especially when we get the fights that we want. You know what I mean? So big ups to everybody in the chat. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Please, on your way in and on your way out, hit the thumbs up if you like the content. If you're new to the channel, please share and subscribe. All right? Alan Munro says, I'm Scottish and so proud tonight, brother. Let's see him and Bud get it on. Absolutely, man. No question about it, man. Ken Buchanan, great fighter out of Scotland. I'd probably say he's one of the best fighters ever out of Scotland. You know what I mean? The man was beating Roberto Duran in their fight, but got hit with the low blows, and the rest is history. Roberto Duran becomes one of the greatest fighters ever. All right, B-Marsh Boxing, big ups to all y'all. I'm gone. Peace.